You come out at like 10.
Yes.
Hello, 10 o'clock. Hi, footprinters. How are you? Before I start, a huge, big thank you to Danny Shea at Bathrobe Tarot. He had me on, hi, False Teeth Real Tarot. He had me on his show on Friday or Thursday night, US time. We had a lot of fun and I hope that people enjoyed it. Big thank you for the shout out and everything. I really enjoyed it. There's still quite a few questions that we didn't get through, so I thought I'd have a look at these. Hi, Uncover the News. Hi, Cartomancy. There's also a thing I saw today. Elizabeth Warren is saying that there is no reason for Congress not to pass Roe versus Wade as law. So Roe v. Wade, will they pass it as law? Law. That is one way to protect it. Hi, Dishes and Stitches. Viviane, hello. So that's one thing I thought I'd like to look at today. 183 new cases of COVID in Victoria, hey? Wow. Did you hear that, babe?
Yeah.
Hi, Judy Malley. Shout outs to you too, Bubby, from people. Yep. People are saying hello to you. You have another chance to say hello to him later. He's going to come out later and make me a cup of coffee. Oh, you did a video this morning. Oh, good. I'll go have a look at it. California recall. Larry Elder is not going to win the recall, but we can have a look at that. Hi, Michelle Peterson. It's actually quite warm in here this morning. So just excuse me for a minute. I'm going to open the back door and let some fresh air in. Hey, Wendy. Oh, what? What are you doing? Whitney is at the back door going. Hi, Marsha Miller. Hi, Renee. Michelle Peterson. Hello. So we'll have a look at Larry Elder. It's me. It's warm. And Karen Anderson. Hello. Bonnie Russell, hello. Somebody immediately started whining when I opened the door. New South Wales, 1485. And 3 deaths.
Victoria's. Not good. Queensland's still at 1.
it's not just me, it is warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you'll excuse me for a minute, I've got a long sleeve top on. I'm just going to go put something a little bit cooler on.
Well, it's not biting cold. Let's put it that
He's going, it's not biting cold. It is actually quite warm and I'm sweating already. So I'll be 30 seconds.
way. I think it's a bit of a, you know what,
No, sweetheart, I don't.
It's stinking hot, yeah.
It's stinking hot. Okay. So to those who are new to my channel, my favourite saying is embrace the chaos, and that's the sort of thing you might get. Hi, Henrad. I just grabbed the first t-shirt. It's just a weird. Yeah. I'd hate to think what Kim Jong-un or the North Korean style is. So, hi, Sharon Sype, Judy Malley, Karen Anderson. Yeah, I did some meditation. I did a chakra rebalance. So I opened my mouth and I was calm. Oh my goodness. But now it's like, oh heck, oh yeah. Kim Jong-un, yeah, well look at him. Okay. Will we finally do something about SCOTUS? I'm going to have a look at that. Now, we had a look at the abortion rights in Texas. I got a pretty grim picture for a little while. I'm sorry, guys, I can't. Hi, Ollie and EB. I can't take back from that. There's going to take a couple of tower things for them to actually realise exactly what they've done. Will the Proud Boys get worse? Okay. Somebody does not like being knocked out from her daddy. She hates it if there's a closed door between her and either of us. I was watching some stories about alerts and all that for September 18. I won't look at September 18 today. I'll wait till it's a bit closer. Teachers face task of debraining. Yeah, okay. We discussed the shamanic messages via Native American and Australian Aborigine ancestors. We did a reading on that, Danny and I. It was very interesting questions. Doctors and ER says ER overwhelmed with people overdosing on the, yeah, unfortunately that's going, and they're doing it here in Australia as well. They're getting, you know, they're getting it from their doctors here, which is just ridiculous. So, Jennifer Portes asked, I want to delve real deep into what Pence knows and when did he know about the insurrection. So that will be interesting, and I'll do that. Okay, so Lachlan Murdoch. Oh, yeah, for Sky News Australia. Yeah. Yeah, Sky News is in Poo over here in Australia. So, Yuma Costa calls Marjorie Taylor Greene Madison the American Taliban. Yes. Yep. That's exactly. I had seen no reason to disagree with what Jim Acosta says over that, calling those three, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Madison Cawthorn and Tucker Carlson, the American Taliban, and a combination of theocracy and thegocracy because they resort to intimidation and violence to push their extremist agenda. I see nothing to disagree with in that. Hi, Apple. Interesting. Will there be? Kimberly Austin asks, will you see any violence aimed at legislators and judges in Texas because of the ban? Or if it ends, the Texas business, if it ends Roe v. Wade? Hi, Grandma D. Greener Seed sent in a question. And when will we see an investigation into how Orange Man first took Hillary's presidency away? Okay. So I think we might make a start. So I got a new deck. I've got tarot with keywords. Bette Midler. Yeah. I love Bette Midler. Gilead, Handmaid's Tale. No, I don't see that happening. Very good authors, and I believe that the woman who wrote it is a very good author. Hi, Clarence. Have a tendency to be able to read political vibrations several years out for some reason, and look at what could happen in the most extreme of situations. So, yeah. Hi, Michelle Mabel. It's not going to happen, but okay, so we're going to make a start. I wanted to get these tarots with keywords for ages. But, I finally got them. They had them on clearance for a while. Blue pack and the purple pack were on clearance. Of course, I grabbed the purple one. So, so let's get stuck into it. First thing I want to look at is will we finally do something about SCOTUS and the dark money steering their decisions? I do see more justices being appointed. This was a classic 5-4 Conservative versus Liberal split. Hi, Christine Thomas. Oh, news for everyone. I am going to post on my community page in a couple of days a schedule for lessons in the tarot. And we're going to start with a journey. The first lesson is going to be a journey through the major arcana. Okay. And then I'll be doing, that's going to be 2 lessons because I'm going to split it in half. First 11, then the second 11. And then there's going to be 1 lesson each on each of the suits. So we're going to start out with 6 lessons, sorry. And yeah, and I'm looking to start that in the second half of September, okay, in about 2 weeks. So I will put some information on that. Okay, the Supreme Court. Now, I will have to charge, but it's only going to be a nominal fee, okay, for each lesson. So I'm not sure how much it's going to be, but it's not going to be a lot. Kevin McCarthy. Obstruction and witness tampering. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's so. Gods of the highest truth and compassion. Thank you for your help in helping me find clarity, objectivity. All SCOTUS be cleaned of dirty money. Hi, Joe G. Breakthroughs, new ideas, mental clarity, and success. Big yes. Breakthroughs, yes. There's possibly going to be some new guidance. I don't know who would be in charge of that, but there's definitely going to be a review. So we've got the Ace of Swords there. Now we've got the 5 of Cups, and it's reversed, and it's personal setbacks, self-forgiveness, and moving on. Yes, what has to happen is that there's going to have to be, I do feel like there's going to be personal setbacks for a couple of the judges sitting there. Clarence has asked, will mansion and cinema destroy reconciliation bill? Yeah, I think he accidentally shot himself, or it was an accident, but yeah. For those who want to know, sitting on the Portland area, Proud Boys leader Tiny Toese was shot in the leg tonight. There are conflicting reports on whether he was shot by someone else or if he accidentally shot himself. Either way, I don't think it was intentional. Okay. End mortality, destruction, corruption. Okay, so there's definitely a need to move on from corruption there with the death. This is the death card. There's a need to move on and bring an end to corruption. A natural leader. There's going to be a new leader coming about with the King of Wands. There's a need for a new leader. Justice Roberts has basically said, right, we'll get down to the conservative agenda. families, divine love, blissful relationships, harmony and alignment. There is a need, now this came on top of a need to move on and come to a new alignment, a new, a new alignment. Now, difficult decisions. Now we've got the Two of Swords. So that last one with harmony, alignment was the Ten of Cups. Now we've got the Two of Swords. Some really, it's getting close to it coming to an impasse where it's just not workable. Overspending, greed and self-protection. Greed and self-protection. They're going into, especially the conservative judges, so a self-protection mode. Now, but there are going to be consequences. Expansion, foresight, overseas opportunities. It's interesting because with the Death card and the Two of Swords, we've got strength reversed, abuse of power, despotism, weakness and discord. Will there be changes? Yes. It's really, really been, there will be changes happening to it. There will be reviews. And some things, here's that alignment card again with the Eight of Swords, movement, fast change, action, alignment, air travel, communications. Yeah, so look, there is going to be movement. In fact, there's going to have to be disclosures. SCOTUS is a co-equal branch of government, but no government can grow and work effectively if each of those branches are never given a check or a review. So it's a pastime. Problem is, at the moment, getting new Texas in judges in there, Ted Cruz will just block anything. He'll say no. Yeah. Grandma D, Pam Pierce, yeah, it's hard to know, isn't it? I'm sure there's already laws about blocking ingress and ingress to facilities like that. I think that there might be some more coming out about that with the hospitals, the protesters at hospitals. Anyway, let's move on. To delve real deep into what White Pence knew and when did he know about the insurrection. Hello to everyone who's not in the chat but is watching. I really do appreciate you joining us. Thumbs up would be lovely. Thank you. And hello to everyone else who chooses later on to click on the video and watch it. Okay. let's see. What did he know? He knew there were talks going on. He knew that there were groups getting together and collaborating. And he knew that, well, he suspected that some people were being given inside information. He knew because he'd possibly been approached about the idea, but he said no. The fact is he showed at that time and afterwards when Trump went missing in action that he actually knew how to lead and knew what his responsibilities were. So I think he may have been sounded out early on, but he was like, do not tell me. I do not want to know. So he was sitting pretty at the time. He was seen to be doing his job. He knew that other people were going to vote against it, so he didn't have to. He was just being seen to have been doing his job. And he wasn't but I don't think he realised the if you're not with us, you're against us mentality of a lot of Trump supporters. The other thing is he was, and why did he remain content to see things out? That won't happen. It won't happen. There'll be no more audits. Now, and why did he do that? Because he didn't want to spoil any future opportunities he might have by being directly associated. Yeah. To him, that was much more important. Opportunities and growth in his own right as a possible future candidate and further potential. So he took every opportunity by showing up when Trump didn't, doing Trump's job basically for a month almost, or for a good 4 weeks, and showing what he was capable of doing in terms of leadership and planning and cooperative things with an eye on the future. And the fact of the matter is Mike Pence may be self-serving and everything, but he's not mad as a loon. He is very balanced and diplomatic. Okay, I wouldn't go so far as to say compassionate. But there is stuff that he knew about that's yet to be revealed. Okay, so there is he does know more than he's letting on, and he has got trials to overcome. So he is going to be asked very, very, and he will get through it. He's got a few trials ahead of him that he will get through. We're talking about Mike Pence. doing a deep dive on what he knew, when he knew it, and he knew beforehand that there was talk and all that, but I don't think he really believed it would get as out of hand as it did. I don't think he ever really believed that people would be praying for his blood and saying, hang Mike Pence. He just wants to move on from it. Yeah, he just wants to move on for it. Hope that people forgive him because he was forgive him for being part of that administration, because he was on the day a victim too, and that they can move on and support him in his future hopes. So he knew, he knew people were talking about it. He'd been approached quite early on and he just told them, are you stupid? But he knew stuff was going on beforehand, but I don't think he ever expected it to be the sugar show it was. Yep. Thank you, Melinda. So he did know there was stuff going on, but he didn't want to know. It was like, don't tell me. I don't want to know, and I don't want there to be any evidence that anyone's spoken to me beforehand. You know, because he was hoping to further his political ambitions at a later date. I don't know if he ever will. But, yeah, very interesting. He knew that Trump was having his rally. And Trump had told him it's going to get exciting and all that. He didn't want to know. So he shut his eyes and ears to a lot of it, and his mouth. He was the three monkeys all at once. Okay, next up on the blocks. Will there be any violence? Towards the courts and legislators over Roe versus Wade, if the Texas abortion ban stands? He can't replace Feinstein unless she leaves or dies or something. Elder's not going to win. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, I know that, Melinda. Don't stress about that. Is there going to be violence over the Roe versus Wade? And if it legislators or judges because of this competing interest, unfortunate combinations, things connected with religion, sex, S-E-T-T-S, and a lot of disunion. So there's definitely going to be an upset. Hi, Susan Allies, how are you? There's definitely disruption. There's a lack of planning. There's a real lack of planning. And people are really upset and they're being ruled by their fear. Their personal goals are just being discarded. Their plan, it's like their whole right to plan their own futures has been taken away from them. And this is really, really upsetting. Hi, Debbie Fitzsimmons. There's going to be movement, fast-paced change, action, alignment. This could have people flying in from all over the country. Hi, Laura Carlson. How are you? With the Eight of Wands. Movement. Lots of communication too. The Eight of Wands is also a card of communication, not just momentum. Ace of Swords. Breakthrough. There's going to be some breakthroughs happening here. The question was, will they see violence? I think they're going to try and avoid it's causing a lot of trouble. Oh, the Hierophant on top of all this. Marriage alliance, captivity, servitude, mercy and goodness and inspiration. This is like servitude. It's the big message here. It's like you're putting the women of Texas into servitude. Forcing us to be something we don't necessarily want to be or aren't in a position to be. Indecision. We've got the Eight of Cups here down the side. Indecision, and it's reversed. They're going to try and get the SCOTUS to block it again, I think. There's going to be some progress on fighting this. It's going to be something that will be overcome. I don't know how at the moment, but self-respect. A real healthy sense of self-respect and self-confidence and efforts to re-establish a sense of self. This is what women deserve. This is what everybody deserves. And having some of those things, their basic human rights like that taken away is Will there be violence? That's all right, geek. You never have to apologise. No one ever has to apologise if they're late or even if they can't turn up for some reason. That's fine. Looking at will there be violence coming out of this Texas business? Oh, there's definitely going to be constriction, resources thrown at it, standing in defence. There could be, there's definitely going to be some unrest. It's all going to be sorted out, and the unrest is justification. I do feel like it's going to be It's justified unrest too, with the people who are having their rights taken away. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some unrest. Hi, Renee Rogers. Now, while on Roe versus Wade, I only saw the headline. Elizabeth Warren has apparently touted the idea that Roe versus Wade could be passed into law. Allowing Texas voters to register at home. That's cool. I'm sure that, you know, they'll come in and say because they weren't cited by blah, 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 and blah, they were not registered, blah, 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 blah. The repukes will definitely try and disallow those registrations. Anyway, is Elizabeth Warren correct? Could it be passed into law? Stalemate. Well, it's been passed as settled in the US, hasn't it? Okay. Indecision. It's sort of thrown, the proposal has sort of thrown, and this is interesting because when I split the deck, the Two of Swords was there, and when I was throwing it out before, the Two of Swords was there, two crossroads and indecisions. So it's very much a crossroad. So can it be passed into law? Federal law. Yes, possibly. It would certainly throw a different perspective on things because if it's federal law, the states can't counteract it. Oh, well, happy birthday to your husband, Shelby Lisa. Thank you for checking in. I do appreciate that. Would have a huge impact. And it would definitely bring balance back. Change, you know, things would be gone from the limbo they're in now and definitely be a return of balance. This is something that I think Republicans and conservative judges have been trying to not bring up. They're not happy she suggested it. This is something that they would have preferred remained clouded. Yeah. Federal law encompasses everyone. Its power encompasses everyone in the country. And it would stop a lot of the states clouding the issue. Yes, I do think it can be done. The states would not like it. They feel that a woman's body is what happens to the women in their state is their decision, nobody else's. And what has the federal government got to do? What right do they have coming in and stamping over their rights to tell women what to do? And it would cement a new legacy. Yes, I do feel that it can be made into law. I'm not quite sure how. I don't know the process. Mew. Will it be passed into law is the other question. Will Roe versus Wade be passed into law? Through the legislative branch. Will it be passed into law? It would certainly halt things like SCOTUS. Looking at judgment on that at the moment. They're getting advice on that at the moment. It's at the start of, she's definitely talking to people about it. And it's surprising. It's hopeful news. Definitely talking to more people. More people are talking about this. They're looking at the details of what it would take. Queen of Cups. This is definitely a mother thing, a woman's rights, women's bodies, women's emotional well-being. Ships could come in on that. I have not gotten any no's anywhere. He likes pies, hey? But it could take a while, and the Republicans would definitely try and slow it up and stop it. Yeah. Yes or no? It's something they could get away with doing. They could get away with doing. Yeah. And celebration by women. It could happen. It could happen. No guarantees there. But it is an option that could be done, and they may even attempt to do it, and there's a good chance it might happen. But it's not as simple as just doing it, you know. They have to get things all written out and Would solve a lot of problems. And I'm sure there's precedence for it. Long held wisdom, long held belief. Yeah, I do feel that there's precedence for it happening as it's happened before, with decisions from the Supreme Court that are considered settled decisions being passed into law. Okay, what's next? When will we see an investigation into how Orange Man first took Hillary? That's going on now. I mean, there was one, and that was Mueller. They're going to bring something out of retirement, being put on the back burner, but the resources are being spent to track the money. It's going to be brought out. It's going to be given new energy, not so much a new investigation, but it's all going to be given a really good review, a fresh look, a fresh start, review. Deals will come out. Money will come. They're going to be looking at his campaign finances and store donors and other things as well. Yeah, there will be minor celebrations, embattled. Yeah, basically, it was done and it was shoved on the back burner. They're bringing it out. And they're reviewing it. So it's being done. The Mueller report is being reviewed, looked at. What was there? What was it? What can they send out for further investigation? And there will be further investigations coming out of. Hello, Bubba Girl. For those who are new to the channel, you might see my Bubba Girl cameo coming across. Well, Manchin and Sinema crashed the reconciliation bill. What's the reconciliation bill on, guys? She is a beautiful kitty. Judgment, servitude, lies and deceptions. They're definitely going to try to crash it, yes.
You're past that, Marco.
Thank you. But there's going to be resolution. Every card so far has been a major arcana. I've accidentally pulled them off the bottom. That doesn't matter. American people. Then we'll go to the top here. Quickly. Momentum. Oh, they're definitely going to try and do it, but I do see some resolution in here and momentum with the Six of Swords and the Eight of Wands, but definitely slowing down. But the processes of government, they can't stop them. They can slow them down and they can throw in hidden icebergs. But hi, Heart and Soul Connected.
Ruby,
Oh,
Ruby. Okay. Ruby.
hi.
Okay. Come on.
I haven't forgotten you, my darling, at all. Ali, how are you?
Come on.
I tried to find your email. I actually no, Ali, I didn't forget you, but I did say that I wanted you to come on, didn't I? Oh, I forgot that, but I didn't forget you. What did I get an email? I got an email about Facebook. Are we on tonight? Certainly. How about I send you an invite now? Oh my goodness, I feel terrible.
Treat, boy. Treat. Yeah. You're finally understanding that. Oh, baby. See? There you go.
Okay, Ali, I've sent you a link. I'm so sorry. It's just been very busy. So please join me. I did say that I would have you on and introduce you, and I'm so sorry about that. What a cow thing. Hang on.
It's okay. It happens. It's okay.
Hey everyone, this is Ali from Heart and Soul Connected. And
Good
yes,
day.
join me on Sunday. My next Sunday, which is earlier in the week, and I'll introduce you. And yeah, me being me, just so everyone. This is Ali. Ali, why don't you say a little bit about yourself to everyone? And yeah, and she's really good. I came across her with Scott the other day, and Jay from Herc 123, who's absolutely lovely.
Isn't he? Yes.
He's good.
Yeah.
In fact, I might send him an invite too, and we might see if we can get him on. So if you introduce yourself,
Sure.
One.
I'm Ali, and good day, everybody down in Australia, and hello to some of those I know from my own channel and from the United States and Canada. And I'm really happy to be here. And I'm going to also have Chrissy on my show, I hope, real soon. But yeah, I don't know what part of Australia do you live in, Chrissy?
I am in where am I? Perth in Western Australia.
Okay.
I don't know if I've got Jay's email.
Herc. It's Herc 213. Yeah, Herc 213. Hi, Renee. Hi, everybody.
No, I don't have his email. If you could forward it, that would be good.
I will. I will do it.
Yep. Just forward the invite, and we'll see if he wants to join us. Hi, D. Ryan.
Oh, he will. Yeah, he's a lot of fun, actually.
If you could just forward the invite to him, and hi.
Do you want me to do it now? Is it now you want me to?
Yeah. Yeah.
I will. Okay, I'll do it. I'll be right back, everybody.
I feel terrible. You know, it's just hi and W. I actually was thinking about you because, Ali, because you sent a link for Facebook, and I tried to confirm it, but I don't know if it's worked or not.
It did. It worked. You know, I'm not big on Facebook, but for some reason, I was off for a year, and it opened itself back up. I don't know how that happened. So I said, must be the spirit wants me on there. I don't know.
I don't know what's going to happen. Facebook in the future, but we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, yeah. So, how have you been? You been good?
I've been great. It's Labor Day weekend here in the United States, and so we're just sitting around making food. I'm in my RV, and it's a beautiful night. I'm out on the water here. Up in northern part of Washington State. So.
All right. Yes, you're a WA as well. I'm a WA as well, because WA is the letters for Western Australia.
Oh, okay. All right.
When I first kept seeing it before I realised that it meant Washington State, I'm like, Australia and America. This was years and years and years ago.
Sure.
But much to my shame, it was even after I'd done my degree in geography. Yeah, a qualified geography.
That was my college. That was my minor. Geography was my minor. Yeah.
Physical or human or both. Mine was physical geography. So yeah. Yes, I did read Clarence on Mansion and Cinema, and if they're going to try and block.
Yeah.
You want to have a look at that? If Mansion and Cinema are going to try and block.
You guys, I got to give it to you. You know all about our politics here in Australia. Yeah. You must get bombarded with all our crappy stuff, huh?
Like hubby, she's like, oh, I don't really want to know. I'll let you know if I want to know some information on something. It just depends on who you are, where you are, what your interests are. People like me and other and readers, it's because we connect with people everywhere. We try and keep up with things everywhere as much as
you're really good about that. Yeah.
And also we were hubby and I were in the US when in September of 2016, and all this Trump thing came out about grab them and buy that, and we were just bombarded, and it was we're like, wow, what a circus. We don't get anything like this in America. So we were fast in Australia.
I bet you were. Yeah. By it. It's like the DNA pool went downhill,
when we got back to Australia, we were surprised not to be hearing about it 24/7.
Right.
But I'm just like the day before we flew out, I'm watching the news, and that was when the thing came out about the bus with that dude and Trump and grabbing and by them, and all that. And I'm like, are you listening to this? There's no way this guy's going to get in. And of course, a couple of months later, we're like, oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, I laughed my butt off when my friend from New Zealand said, that he was running and everything. And I said, he's not going to win. None of us really thought he would. But boy, oh boy, we were wrong.
Well, I was just reading on the, Mueller report, and I do think there's going to be a revision of that, and there's going to be more stuff, and there's going to be expansion on it. What I really feel is like they shut it down so quickly, and I've always thought at the time that Mueller had come across something, or one of his team had come across something that was like, hang on, we need to deal into this, but I need to pass it by Mueller. And somehow that got up to, who was it, Barr or Rosenstein or whoever. And then, no, shut it down now. And it got and I do feel that there's a follow up on that.
Yep. Let's see, I got, I'm going to just say, without even reading cards, that those two really pissed me off, for one thing. But anyway, Cinema is she's just trying to stand out. I don't know. There was they were voting on something, and she stood up and walked up to the front and went like this and made a big deal about it. She didn't want it or something. And it was like, really, lady? You're a senator, or it just doesn't make any sense. And Joe Manchin is just riding the wave. Somebody said Joe Manchin's wife is like, oh, you're all important now. Well, I don't, because no one ever heard of him before, really, So I don't know. I get cause and effect. That's what I get. The web weaver.
Okay.
Yep. Cause and effect, divine intelligence. What you reap, you sow. So my feeling is, bye-bye. Bye, boys and girls,
Yeah, when I said, I'll send you an invite on Sunday before my thing so you can hop on and say hello. I said this to Ali the other day, and I completely forgot. So when she came up, forget about me, I'm like, oh, I haven't forgotten you. And what was this supposed to do for you?
What the heck would I promise you I'd do? I don't know. It was funny because Ron asked me, would I come on his show tonight? And I said I can only come on for 45 minutes because I thought it was about 7 my time that you would be sending me an invite. That's why I see you've been on an hour now. So I just thought it was at 7.
Ron, love Ron.
I love him too. Yeah. But it's all good. Chrissy, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry.
Honestly,
yeah.
It happens. Hay fever season has kicked in here in Western Australia. Wildflower season has kicked in as well. 1st of September. Hubby started sneezing. He hasn't stopped since. He gets a runny eye. He gets a clogged up noses. He gets violent sneezing fits because, it's here my sister are like, they're lucky they can lift their heads off the thing. So it's been like since Wednesday, it's been
as they fly backwards. Hi, Clarence. It's good to see you.
When I was with Danny, when I was recording with Danny the other night for his show, right towards the end, I'm hearing in the background, and I'm like, we wrapped up the recording. I said, Danny, I got to go. James is groaning in the background. He said, oh, my God, go and check. I said, I think he's really hurt. And I went in and I checked him. I said, babe, are you all right? What's all that groaning? He said, oh, no, I just sneezed a couple of times.
But isn't it winter there? It shouldn't be allergy season, should it? Isn't it like winter?
It's spring.
Oh, now. You're going into spring. Okay. Because my dogs both have runny eyes right now and conjunctivitis here, but we're just going into fall. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
The other thing I looked at is Elizabeth Warren was saying that, one thing they can do about Roe versus Wade is pass it into law. Now, I did a reading on that. First question I asked was, could it be done? And that came out, yes. And will it be done? Possibly, yeah. So I was wondering if you'd like to have a look at that and see if that's a possibility of Roe versus Wade being passed into law, into federal law.
It better not. I graduated from high school the year that Roe versus Wade came through. And I had so many friends at that time. I mean, I'm not an abortion advocate at all, but I think a woman has a right to her own decision. And I've had a lot of friends that ended up having abortions because, that was before the pill, actually. So there was a lot of oopsie doopsie, but, have you ever watched The Handmaid's Tale?
No, I haven't. No.
You got to watch it. Oh, you got to watch it. It's so good. But what it is like a science fiction or not science fiction, but what basically it is that these women have been commanded to have babies and they're controlled by the men, the patriarchy. And that's what I feel like we're going into here. It's very creepy.
So it's like the only but I know about the premise of it and everything as well.
Yeah.
Did you see the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and their get-ups?
No.
They in the color, in the blue and in the white but they had handmaiden tail bonnets on and across their mouths.
They did. Good for
across
them.
Their mouths. Yeah. They had muffles across their mouths. And it was definitely a very poignant thing to say, and to have these high profile women say, this is what you're heading for. It was like
there's a way. Actually, they said if you want to have no abortions, then keep men in chastity belts. It's not just women who are at fault here.
Yes, no, it's not. It's not, and especially women who were put in circumstances and they were made pregnant against their will.
Oh yeah, incest and things like that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Mm.
It is. It's awful.
It's just, if.
So let's see what. So we're looking at whether the only thing I'm wishing, and it can't come from Biden, it has to come from the Congress and the Senate, is to add some more Supreme Court justices, because the ones we got, 5 of them, they're wing nuts. They're totally whacked. They really are.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. It says that I got the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. So consistent efforts lead to success. Results from past, that there's a milestone. I hopefully that will be, that this will, just basically go away. I did hear that there are supposed to be, in 50 states, there's supposed to be protests. So the women have had it up to here. So
yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I did read on that protest and unrest earlier.
Okay.
Now, the other question we got here is Larry Elder from California. If I were in, I cannot do an American accent. I'm just going to do an
That's okay.
accent.
Fair dinkum.
If I were, I'm going to replace Dianne Feinstein with a Republican so that the Republicans can get the Senate back. I mean, go, what the hell?
That's great. That's great. That is great. Pam, you're right. It is about controlling women. It is. And some of these evangelicals, they control their wives.
Yes,
and so that is pretty funny though. Yeah. Dianne Feinstein though, she needs to retire, but she needs to be replaced. Yeah, she needs to be replaced by another Democrat,
So it's Larry Elder going to win. He's got a surprise coming up for him, and he's not going to handle it well.
Oh,
stoppages. Perhaps he needs more fiber. Abuse of power.
Oh yeah. He's probably going to say that it was rigged, like everybody else does. That it was, a rigged election. Yeah. Wow.
It's a fruitless fight for him. It's fruitless. It's Gavin Newsom's going to win this, and he's not going to win. In fact, honestly, Larry Elder's going to find himself in a little bit of trouble, possibly even before the courts.
Out in
the cold. I don't know much about the man, but
I don't either. No.
Past actions, by the looks of it, communication about past actions. The stoppage.
That's great.
His momentum is just going to be. I don't think he's going to make it to the record. It's just ridiculous.
Yep, I agree.
Ali and DB, really good point. Funny they don't want birth control covered, but have no problem with Viagra being.
Oh, I know. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, honestly,
they talk out of 2 sides of their mouth, is what they do. Yeah. Yep.
Honestly,
I just can't believe that. I don't have him as a governor, so I don't know Gavin Newsom, but I can't believe he was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle. I know. Where? Why? Oh.
Honestly, when I
That's
saw
true,
that,
Pam.
that's the first thing I thought of was, the Nora Desmond character.
I know. Yes. Yes.
I'm ready for my haircut, Mr. DeVille. And also Kirsten Vig doing her Gloria Swanson.
Yes.
Gloria Swanson played Nora Desmond, and it's like, that's
what else?
it. That
You know
look
what
on
else? She and Dawn were in the back going,
yeah, they were.
before
Yeah.
they went out, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was definitely on something.
Oh, he always looks that way, doesn't he?
Oh, God. The
he's
runny
creepy.
eye. The
Yep.
runny eye. What, she's got hay fever, poor love. Janine Pirro's been quite quiet lately. Judge Janine. She's been quiet, and it's just entered my mind. I did a whole video on her and Laura Ingraham, right? When I first started out, my earlier video. And I don't know if anyone is familiar with the Muppet Show, but there's two characters, right? There was a girl singer in season 1 called Wanda from Wayne and Wanda. She had
Wayne and Wanda.
dark hair, and Wayne survived, but Wanda didn't survive season 1.
Oh, okay.
And every time they would come on and sing, they'd get like the autumn leaves, they'd get swamped with leaves or whatever. Anyway.
I love that.
And there was another character from season 1 called Louis Gonzaga, who was the sports commentator. And he would talk like this, and he would talk fast and loud.
Howard Cosell? Is that who he was supposed to be? Howard
talk like this. And it's like, the minute I saw this woman, I'm like, she is the love child of Wanda and Louis Gonzaga. And they brought her up on steroids. And
really?
That's Janine Pirro, and the way she talks and passes down her judgments is just so. And she doesn't care that leaves are falling down around her head and swamping her. And it's just, oh my God, that's exactly that. I thought, oh my God, somebody let the Louis Gonzaga puppet and the Wanda puppet, they put them in the same, shove them away somewhere, and they bred. And this thing was brought up on steroids, and it's just like, oh my God.
Oh my God, you're good, girl. You are so good.
That is definitely Judge Janine Pirro, and it's like, yeah, and Cecily Strong does the best Janine Pirro.
Does she? Yeah. Oh my God. I'll have to watch SNL for that,
Yeah, she does Judge Janine really well. But I just still think Wanda and Louis Gonzaga is just like Judge Gonzaga. It's just like Judge Janine Gonzaga.
And then there's Judge Judy, who's another sir.
Judge Judy. She just sticks to her realm, telling people they're idiots in court.
I know. Why did you do that stupid thing? Give her money back. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Love Judge.
Right.
So I think we'll get. I can do. Look, I'm sorry. I can do Janine all day. I can do my Janine all day, and so I've got to stop. Otherwise, I might. Because it takes a lot from down here around the diaphragm, and I don't want my solar plexus imploding.
Then you got what's his name? Tucker Carlson.
Oh, he's like,
he's a dingling. They're all dinglings over there.
Oh,
yeah.
Where's the camera? It's like,
oh my God, girl. You ought to just do impressions. That's what you need to do. Just do a whole show on impressions. Hi, MK Karen. Thanks for coming. I hope everybody didn't leave. I was on Ron's show. I said I was coming here, and looks like a lot of people came with me, and so I hope they still have people over there. Oh dear.
But anyway, when he came up with did you forget me? I said, no, I'm talking. No.
I know who you are. What's wrong with you?
Oh my God!
It was this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. But you're here now, and that's all that matters. My other favorite, the other one I can do is Laura Ingahan, who just talk like anybody else. And there's my sneer. That's my sneer. Get the makeup people in for my sneer.
Her brother even hates her because she's such
Yeah.
a bitch. Oh my God. She's
The sneer.
You know that it's an entertainment show. It's not the news. It was when it first came out. It wasn't supposed to be Fox News because they shove their opinion down your throat. And you know, it's just good old Rupert Murdoch.
You know, his son Lachlan, who is, I think, the actual decent one, who's just not
really.
He's up before a Senate inquiry here in Australia because Sky News got themselves suspended from YouTube for a week for misinformation on COVID.
Oh, I believe it. Good. It's about time they called those
Sky
idiots out. And they've all had the COVID shots, and they're telling people not to get them. It's crazy. It is.
Yeah. No, Sky News is the equivalent of Fox over here in Australia.
Oh, okay. I wondered about that.
Oh, yeah. And it's honestly, it's just like we have people like Alan Jones, Andrew Bolt the Dolt. And there's personal animosity to Bolt the Dolt. How dare you insult my uncle, you Philistine?
Oh God, it's like Piers Morgan in England. He gets himself all in a snit, you know, and I guess he got some kind of problem with Meghan, the Duchess there, you know.
Oh, he's got some kind of problem with everybody who is
everybody. I know.
White
That's
male. Andrew Bolt, I just felt free to criticise a family member of mine, so up yours, Bolt.
Oh, very, very true. Yeah, pound sand, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Clarence, I hope California will stay blue as well. I don't see California ever turning red, though. But I know there are parts red. You know who needs to go is Dingling. What's his name? The minority leader. There's Kevin McCarthy.
I've got somebody asked, will he be charged with obstruction of justice and witness tampering over his threats to the telecom company?
He already has been called out on ethics charges. Did you know that? That happened today. And guess who else was doing the same thing? That lovely, delightful lady, not Boebert, but the other one, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, yeah.
They're just, I don't know, they're just big mouths with you know, crazy.
Yeah, Mondegreen. I call him, a Mondegreen is a misheard lyric. And it was like, it came from a lyric that was said, and laid him on the green, right? And somebody came out and said, oh no, it's all about a song about a lady Mondegreen. And it wasn't. So for some reason, this term, a Mondegreen, got attached to as the word that is used for misheard lyrics. And all her lyrics, she's misheard a lot of lyrics in her time, and she was a walking Mondegreen.
Oh, that's funny. I was listening to the radio today on my way to go do some grocery shopping, and it was one of the oldies stations, and it was playing Strange Magic, that song. I got a strange magic. Well, when I first heard that song back in the 70s, I thought they said, I'm gonna strain my dick. So that's what I sing every time I hear it. And then I couldn't get it out of my mind.
Is there something about you we should know?
Not me.
No, yeah.
Oh, that's Randy. I love Randy Rainbow. Do you know who Randy Rainbow is, Chrissy? Yeah. No, I haven't heard that, Renee, but I'm going to look it up when I'm finished. I bet it's hysterical because he is funny. He's very funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Kathleen Farley. So we're going to have a look at Kevin McCarthy.
Okay.
What's in the cards?
Oh, do we have to? I'm kidding.
We'll have a look at his energy, which is bad enough.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have to bring out? I might have to go and get a smudging stick or something if I read on him.
Well, no, definitely you would if Jim Jordan was brought in because he's Mr. Sweaty and Mr. Ugly, but yeah, I guess Kevin's right up there with him. So
he was called. There's a girl and her channel is I think called Undercurrents, and she goes in and she doesn't reveal who she is or anything, but she goes in and she has a hidden camera that sort of looks up from. I think it looks up from her delicatage or something. Which makes sense because it always seems to be that the politicians are looking down at her boobs, these Republicans.
Yeah.
And she's caught Ron Johnson out saying, Biden won. And now caught Jim Jordan out admitting to something. And
talking to the president 14 times on January 6th or something. Yeah.
Yeah, admitting to something. Okay, so McCarthy, what's in his future? Lack of progress, procrastination, learn from failure. The problem is this guy does not learn from failure.
What did you get? What card is it, hon?
This is the page of Pentacles. This guy does not learn from failure, and he is a disruptive little sugar bear.
He is.
He's a disruptive little sugar cube. And his past folly. He got the fool in his past, and his past is filled with folly, mania, extravagance, intoxication, delirium, frenzy, and bereavement.
Okay.
We're going to go with folly. His past actions are filled with folly. In fact, if you looked up folly, folly, of course, is also a young horse, but he might have a horse's face, but more like a horse's. He's a folly in that he's a horse's.
The back end with the tail swishing. Oh, God.
Spiritual poverty.
Oh, definitely.
He's got to recover from financial loss and spiritual poverty. So he's, of course, they get elected every 2 years. He needs the income.
Yeah.
He's not a very smart man.
No, he's not. He isn't. And I got the King of Wands, but I get his energy. He thinks he's a born leader. He thinks he is a visionary and influential and independent and ambitious and wants everything. But the truth is he's a very, very insecure man. But there's another one from California that in Congress. What is it? What name?
Devin Nunes.
Oh, yes. Remember, he just sort of fell off the map, didn't he? After all that, yeah.
He's like, hell, man.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, you just bring it all out. You just bring out all of me. But yeah, so he really needs money. He's out in the cold with money with the Five of Pentacles.
Does.
But he is just sort of a liar. But he's a real scaredy cat. He's a real.
I believe that.
And he's got
I believe it.
so much he wants to, and he's a bit paranoid. My enemies are all around me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, when he when he said that that we need to do some research and we need to have the 1-6 commission and everything, and then all of a sudden, he's going to go visit 45 down in Florida and suck up to him because 45 probably hit the roof, and actually did say, apparently, Kevin, these people care more than you do.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
on the phone.
He did.
Yeah. The other thing I've got with Kevin McCarthy is that the 9 of Pentacles reversed. He has an overinflated sense of self-worth. He thinks he's a hustler, but he's just more likely to get hustled. And it's also money troubles again. Is he going? He's already up on ethics, right? He's gonna need Knight of Cups. He's a romantic. He thinks that all he has to do is wish it and it comes true.
Oh.
No long-term vision.
I believe that.
He's not ever going to be Speaker of the House again, even if he was at one stage. Limited success or reward. He's not going to get out of all this what he hoped he would, which is being set up for. That won't happen. If he's not careful, I mean, yes, these guys all do get a pension for life or something, don't they? But if he's not careful, he can be stripped of all that.
All right. I like the way you read.
Moodiness, emotionally manipulative. He's easy to manipulate. He has no core strength of his own. Conflict.
He's probably got skid marks in his underwear. He's just a jerk. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, he has these little minions in the Republican leadership caucus. They're following behind him with buckets and shovels, ready to pick up what he leaves behind.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Good old Diaper Dawn. You know that there was a guy that was getting a medal when 45 was in office, and he was there, and apparently he got really upset. Donnie 45 got really upset about something or whatever, and he goes off all the time and yells, and when he does, he craps his diaper because he wears them. And so he had to leave the ceremony because he had crapped his diaper and everybody could smell it.
Oh, I don't know.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
I don't know.
Can you imagine? And the guy that got the medal was like, where'd he go? He was there like 5 minutes, So, yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it's
I don't either, but it kind of goes along with how crappy this man is. Yeah. Did you see the picture of him with his pants way up high, and it looked like they were on backwards? Did you see that picture of him? Of 45?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
that was ages. That was a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was right after he went down to Florida, and he went to one of his things. Yeah. And everybody kept saying it looks like he has his pants on backwards, but he had them pulled way up because you can see the outline of the diaper. It's really a depends. It's not a diaper, but
Yeah.
Yes, Clarence, you're right.
Honestly, most of us in the end are going to end up in depends. So.
I know that. No, I don't want bad karma, so I won't say anymore.
That one was photoshopped, and that was proven on the channel.
It was? Okay. Okay, good. All right.
Clarence
on some channel.
Green and Bogart, female versions of Beavis and Butthead. Well, Beavis and Butthead show more intelligence, but anyway, the next question we have is Proud Boys. Are the Proud Boys going to get worse?
Oh. I'm feeling it.
Oh my God. No. I was just checking something. He's run up to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, I've got to check that.
Who, you? You're up to 1,000?
Oh, yeah, I'm over 1,000. Ron, because I said
Oh,
when I
Ron.
get 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to donate 10-minute Zoom, and I haven't forgotten that.
That's good. I've been pushing for people to subscribe for him because he's really such a wonderful community man. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. Okay. So, Proud Boy's going to get worse.
Thanks, Debbie Fitzsimmons. Yes.
Not sure
You're
whether
right.
somebody else shot him or whether he shot himself by accident. What the leader of the Proud Boys in Washington State, Seattle, or wherever. I do feel it was an accident. He could have done it to himself, but he got shot in the leg. Bye.
Wow.
They're getting together. They're definitely getting together. They they are building up their numbers and building up some strength. But they're being careful about it because all eyes are on them because of the 1-6 and stuff.
Right.
And they've got to be careful. Oh, they're definitely gearing up to make chaos. We've got on top of the 3 of coins, which is getting together and talking, we've got the 5 of coins, which is trying to find the resources. There's no spiritual growth there at all. But we've got the Temperance Angel for restraint. Being careful because the ultimate goal is to create chaos with the Knight of Swords. Strength. They are building up their strength and they are building up their numbers because it is their goal to make things hard and bring things to an end. It's a 10 of Swords. It is to betray and stab people in the back and do the wrong thing and also bring about an end with the 10, the end of a cycle. Now, there is some hope here of sending them in a new direction, but they are going to be gathering in quite a group. It's definitely,
There's other ones too, like there's the 2%ers, there's Oathkeeper, all of those. I just see them not going anywhere. But did you hear that the guy that was the shaman that was had the head, he got what, 20 years in jail or something and $250,000 fine. He pleaded guilty.
Yeah, I know he pleaded guilty. He got caught. He
got some time. Yeah.
He was convinced that Trump was going to get back in and pardon him. That took a long time, but they are going to. They are mercenary too. They do. They are. They are more. They're becoming more mercenary and less of an ideal. The Proud Boys, and that's going to make them even more dangerous because they'll be.
It is. And a lot of them turned away from Trump after this. A lot of them said, he was supposed to get us out, like you said. And now they're just going to end up being, like you say, mercenaries. And they show up all the time. And what they try to do is pretend that they are what they call Antifa, which there is no such thing as a group of Antifa. So,
if somebody says they're Antifa, they're not because they're.
I know.
It's an ideal, and it's not a. Yeah, it's and they know that. That's, question by Joe G. September 18. Will it be like January 6 or more peaceful? Joe G.
Where's that supposed to take place? In DC? In Washington? Oh, the Capitol. The Capitol? Oh God.
I don't think they're even going to get a permit.
No, I don't believe so either. Yeah.
At least not there, not anywhere in the avenue.
The vicinity of there. Yeah.
Is it going to end up and if they come armed, there's not going to be any blocking. It will be you raise one weapon in a threatening way.
Yeah.
It will be shoot to kill.
It will,
And-
especially after the guy that showed up with the bomb in his car or something just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
September 18, dark side of wealth, financial loss, or financial failure of wealth, the dark side. Saving money, security, conservatism, scarcity, and control. What they're trying to save is control over others.
Yep.
Weakness.
Mm.
The sentence. It's going to be people who, do not. They're not as strong as they think.
I agree.
With judgments reversed on them. The Empress, clandestine. They're going to try and sneak people into these areas.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. It's not going to look. There's going to be problems on September 18, whether it's large scale or small scale. They're going to try a few things, but it's going to be. And these guys are not political prisoners. You know, people who are calling them that are just fooling themselves. And lost opportunity, lack of planning and foresight. They're not as well put together as they want.
Yep.
Humanogenic.
I'm also feel the same way. I'm against fascism. That's Antifa. But there's there's no like group of people that have an organization for that. Yeah. But I got here that they're going to try to defend their territory, and that they want to protect what's theirs. They have resilience when it comes to this. In other words, they feel like they have a good reason and that they got a lot of backing with it. But I agree. I think we're not going to take it less seriously this time because of what happened last time. Yeah,
it's going to be taken way more seriously.
Yeah.
And if you go outside of certain boundaries, and if you're seeing, it's going to be a clampdown. It wouldn't even surprise me if National Guard were brought in beforehand.
Yeah, I agree. Or some military.
Yeah, bring in the National Guard. That's part of their role, to defend at home.
Right. I agree that Antifa is an idea. Yes, it is. But you know, Mussolini and all those fascists from the World War II that my dad fought for as well. My dad was a World War II veteran and spent some time in Italy and also in Africa with Rommel's group. Yeah. So
my grandfather, my grandfather on my mum's side would travel up and down the coast servicing lighthouses and all that. And we had a Japanese sub-incursion in World War II into Sydney Harbour. And at that stage, my grandfather was stationed at Sydney Harbour, Sydney Harbour, working with one of a light boat or something, because that's what he did. The message came up that there's subs in Sydney Harbour and all that. And I think they fired on one of the light boats and it went up. I can't quite remember everything. But I do know that my granddaddy threw on a shirt and everything and he started running down the street and my grandmother's going, Patrick, oh, look, I've got to go. And she went, you've got no pants on.
That's great.
We're running down the street in Sydney towards the harbour with no pants on and just
his underwear. In his underwear, or was he bollocky bare ass?
I don't even want to think about my grandfather bare ass.
I understand. Yeah.
You know, so no. But he would go up and down the coast, the east coast, servicing the lighthouses and all that.
Yeah.
That was his job with the army. And he ended up as a regimental sergeant major. And
Good for him. Yeah.
oh, no. Regimental sergeant majors are not.
Oh, they aren't? Oh, I thought that was a good thing. Okay.
Get half up, mum, and think the guy with the gloves on going, shh. This
Oh, okay.
will do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
Yeah. Sons, daughters didn't count. All that matters was sons. Yeah. Not an
Sounds
easy
right.
memory.
Yeah.
He was still my grandfather, bless him. I still have good
I know.
memories of him. I know.
At
We used
least
to
you
go.
got. I didn't know my grandparents. They were all dead before I was born, so I didn't never have any grandparents.
We moved up to Queensland when I was about 6.5, 7, and I still remember being taken over to grandma and granddad, little grandma and granddad, which is my mum's mum, on Sundays, and we'd go to church, and then we'd go home, and if we'd been good in church and all that, granddad would take us for a walk down to the corner shop where we would get either a packet of Smith Crisps, a cherry ripe, or a Havana ice cream. And
Oh,
if it was pay dirt, we'd get all three. To this day, I still love all three of those things.
oh, sure. Reminds you of your grandpa. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You know, because I didn't know that other side to him.
Sure. I understand. Yeah.
Granddad, you know. But yeah, and he was the maddest driver. He was like, I can remember a memory of going down Bulleye Pass Road, which is sort of like this.
Okay.
It's sort of like goes from steep to steeper and stuff.
Oh,
And
wow.
like, well, you need brakes. Well, you don't need brakes. You just go around. Yeah, and I
Just
can
hang
remember stuff whizzing by, and I hate driving. I can't drive, but I can. I just
It's
can't.
gotten worse and worse the older I am. I don't care for it. Yeah. I don't like it. Renee Rogers said that his great uncle was a few blocks away from where Mussolini was hung.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And his wife or mistress. It was his mistress, I think, wasn't it? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, Mussolini was not a very nice person. None of them were. I mean, if you're gonna.
No, none of them were. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, even the people fighting on the Allied side to help stop these people, there are streaks of them, and there has to be ruthlessness, determination. I mean, Patton was not warm and fluffy.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Truman.
But did you know that he was very aware of his past lives? Did you know that about Patton?
No, I didn't know. No.
Yeah, he remembered when he was walking on the battlefields, during World War II. He remembered walking on the battlefields in Roman times. At the time. Yeah. And when I heard that, I thought that was a really interesting. You wouldn't think a military guy like that would ever be in touch with that kind of stuff.
No.
Yeah.
No. I have got a question.
Okay.
Where is it? It's somewhere here. It's a question.
Elby, that's funny. Most of us don't wear pants anymore because of the virus. We can all walk around with sweatpants on, right? Or shorts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah. I have some house dresses in the summer and stuff, and it's like, I just, yeah, sometimes it can get you down, can't it? It's just like, I had a down day yesterday, and I was like, because my great niece was getting married on the other side of the country in North Queensland. I couldn't get over there, and I've been missing my family, and I'm like,
I understand. Yeah, it's been hard.
We're all going to die. And he's like, Chris, because he has a hard enough time just getting through a day. He goes, that doesn't help anyone. I'm like, yeah, well, and I'm in a great mood. I'm like, my it was his fault, but we won't get into it.
Sometimes you just got to let it all go, You just got to say, this sucks, Yeah, I know. Yep,
Yep.
absolutely.
Now, I always have a news feed open here, and I want to have to see if there's anything here.
Okay.
3 in 5 want COVID inquiry to report back before the next election. This is in the UK. So is there going to be a COVID inquiry before the next UK election? Jim Acosta,
are they going to keep Boris Johnson? I wonder if did you know his wife was pregnant again?
Yeah.
She just had a baby. Yeah. I'm not seeing the love for Boris Johnson.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
Will there be an inquiry? I don't think he's going to get back in again.
I don't think so either.
Because they're going to look into the burden it's left behind, the extra responsibility and everything, lost opportunities and lack of foresight and planning for it.
Yes, absolutely.
So we've got the 10 of wands. I
got the same thing. The 10 of wands.
The ace of pentacles. Yep. The ace of pentacles reversed. So the planning and foresight. It just sort of went into things reactively.
Yes.
And the death card reversed, inertia. Things didn't move when they should have been. Lethargy. Just basically the whole country went into petrified bolus mode. It just didn't move forward for over 18 months because they couldn't. Because I don't think he ever had anything in place.
He didn't.
Trump
remember, he got COVID too. Yeah.
Trump disbanded it. After Ebola, Obama instituted this whole department just for dealing with these things.
I know.
Boris wasn't interested in anything like that.
Like Trump. And like Bolsonaro. Look at what Bolsonaro did in Brazil as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, him. Yeah, he's
What about in Australia? Is your leader there one of these guys as well?
He shut down early and all that.
Okay.
He is one of these guys. He totally stuffed up with the vaccine rollout.
Okay.
He introduced AstraZeneca, which we've had more deaths from AstraZeneca in Australia than anywhere else, I think, due to that could be wrong. Don't take that. But lots and all that. Some people have had very bad reactions. My husband had. We can't take it.
Oh, wow.
And now they're telling us that we'll probably only be able to get 1 shot of Pfizer instead of 2. But, it just depends. We don't know what's going to happen next or when we're even going to get a shot of Pfizer.
I'm so sorry.
You can't have 2 shots of Pfizer. Well, the other one didn't work. In fact, it made me very sick and my husband got some very dangerous side effects. So 4 from Grace with the 6 of Wands reversed for Boris, restless, unfocused, impulsive, and burnt out. Yeah, that's all. That's pretty much Boris to a T. With the sword, with the Knight of Swords, concealment and disguise, unreasoned caution, fear. He let fear, and he didn't let people on. There's a lot that has not come out about COVID in the UK that he's concealed.
Weren't there a lot of anti-vaxxers there too, protesting about masks and lockdowns and all that?
Yeah, probably. I got no patience with people protesting these things. I mean, it's like the thing is that they go out, they get themselves in crowds, and then they get sick and spread it. And it's like, and then they complain that they're sick and nobody's doing anything for them. And it's like, if you want to go out and protest. I'm not going to tell you don't have the right to or you shouldn't.
Right.
I don't agree with it. Or consequences on your head be it. That doesn't mean I don't respect you less as a person for standing up for what you think is right.
Right. But you're putting me in danger, right? You're putting me in danger and my family. Yeah.
There are some people who will just go out and protest, and I don't know about here, but certainly in some countries, they don't really believe what
But
they're protesting.
it's
They're desperate for money, so they'll
Mhm.
go to. They'll get paid every protest they go to because
they
they're
do?
desperate for money.
Oh, okay.
There are
I didn't know.
yeah, paid
Oh,
agitators, paid protesters.
okay.
Yeah, not all of them. Not all of them.
Yeah,
but
I
there
know.
is
Yeah.
that is. It's not
It's like mind control though. Isn't it like mind control to you? I think it's like, people don't think for themselves. They just go with the flow, whatever it might be. Yeah.
it's easier to let somebody else think and
Oh
do
yeah.
for
Yeah,
because
it is.
they're tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dissatisfaction. There's dissatisfaction in the UK with the Nine of Cups reversed. Living in the past. People are still, after 18 months, it's hard for them to get out of this mindset that they've been shoved
Yes.
into. This is the Six of Cups. And it's like, and then there's hard work, productivity, and routine, conservatism. This is the Knight of Pentacles, but there's been no real benefit. A lot of people have put in a lot of hard work to keep going, keep their families fed, all this.
Yep.
Working from home, setting up things, but there's been no benefit to everything they did since they came out of lockdown. In fact, I think sometimes they feel even more in limbo because there's a chance they're going to get shoved back in at any time. Yeah. It's like it's yeah. So yeah, it's definitely. I do feel there's going to be a inquiry as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Wow.
MU variant. Somebody mentioned the MU variant earlier.
Oh God. I'm going to get next month. I get my third shot here because I'm over 6. I'll be 66 at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't bother me to do that. But the only one that I took Moderna and the only one they can give you is Pfizer. That's the only one they're doing, I guess now. But do you think people are waiting for things to go back to normal?
Right.
I don't think we're ever going to go back to normal. And I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative and everything, but,
The people who want things to go back to normal do not understand, who aren't willing to. The fact is that change, societal change, change within us as beings on the planet.
Yeah.
Society cannot be stagnant, and society is challenged in many ways. And illness is one of the ways in which society is challenged, forcing us to make changes, forcing us to learn, forcing changes within society in itself.
Right.
The Great Fire of London was an opportunity to rebuild with new and they put in all new sewage systems because they've known for a couple of 100 years the habits of London.
The cholera. Yeah.
The cholera, this, that, the other. People just throwing their waste out of windows and all that was a cause of lots of problems. But the cost of doing it was, making those changes was too great. And then the fire happened and they had an opportunity to do that. It just society is sent challenges. And sometimes people say, oh, you can't step back in things. There are some things you can take a look at from the past that works well in the present. It shouldn't take a global pandemic for these changes to come about.
Oh no, I know. Yeah. And look at it shouldn't take a global pandemic and all these weather things for us to smarten up and get that under control. There's so much of that. Yeah.
Renee Rogers has asked, why did the federal government allow the pandemic unemployment to end with the Delta variant around? trying to get, because the budget, isn't it the budget or something that
Absolutely. And you know that some of the states shut it down way before others. They were still
yeah,
paying it here in Washington state until this week. But other states like shut down in Florida and all those places. They shut down like 6 months ago or something.
self-imposed restriction. And the fact is that something like that, it's got to be federally handled, I think.
It does. Yeah.
Putting social security in the hands of the state governments, even though it's a federal allowance, and giving them the ability to say, no, we're not going to pay it. Well, what are they doing with the money then?
I know.
What are they doing? And there needs to be inquiries into that.
Definitely. The other thing is that I just read that because of the pandemic, they're saying that Social Security will bottom out in 2034. So all the old folks that want to retire won't have any money there. It's just a mess. Everything's a mess. It really is. Yeah. I don't know, Chrissy. Don't you feel like sometimes the world problems are just too much to deal with at times? And sometimes it's just nice to eat popcorn and watch a movie, you know?
Yeah. As I was saying yesterday, is I got really down and depressed and all that, which is ridiculous. It should be ridiculous, because I am in one of the best and luckiest places to be in the world, where I
think
am.
You're right.
And
but you're just regular person, honey. You're only a human being, you know, and you will get depressed.
Every single day I thank heavens, universal spirit. I am thankful every day that I am where I am.
Right.
But it still doesn't stop me worrying about my family in New South Wales, my family in Victoria, my family in Queensland. It still doesn't stop me worrying about my family in Asheville in North Carolina.
Oh, you have people there. Okay.
Yeah, it's
beautiful there.
Stop me stressing and mourning for people who have come on and said, I lost my nephew, or I lost my son, or I lost such and such.
Yeah.
The other day. And it's just, I'm grateful to be where I am, but sometimes it all just seems overwhelming.
It does. Yeah. And we can only be strong for so long, Chrissy. You know, you can't be.
And also, how long can we hold out? Yes, we've got two major roads into the state, one in the north, one in the south. But the fact is that, yes, we're in a lucky place, but we still have to get stuff brought over from the east by truck drivers and things like that.
Yep.
And it's like, how long, you know, are we going to end up with bad spike and stuff and lose people? It's like,
right. Yeah.
I think there's a general air of it's gonna happen sooner or later. But having that too, it's like, but I'm still thankful it hasn't yet, and hope it never does. But it's still like, sometimes it can feel hard to just get up and move on, and the stresses and worry for other people and other places in the world. And then it's like, and yes, I feel thankful. I'm so thankful to be where I am.
Yeah.
And we've got a premier who is very determined that, you know, he's gonna keep it state as safe as he can.
Right. Well, I think I like that.
But yeah.
I'm lucky because I have a job that I can do distance. My husband's working 2 hours north of me, and thanks, Pamela. This is my RV I'm in, and I kind of just got it all up and ready for this. But I feel lucky because I can do my work online. I don't want to go into the classroom right now because I work at colleges. And so I'm happy to be just doing what I'm doing, and then also spending time on YouTube I love, I really do.
So it's
Um,
an office as well, is it? Is it an office or something for you?
this room, I have this huge RV, and I've made this sort of into an office. Yeah. I have all my lights and all that stuff. And I want to say to Judy Malley, you're going to be 66 1 week exactly from me. My birthday's the 29th. So, yeah.
Well, happy birthday to you, both you guys.
Well, thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it. Somebody suggested that we should do this collaboration weekly. I think that's funny. Thank you.
Well, we can do it every few weeks. Yeah, and I'd love to hop on your channel as well.
Oh, yes, I want you to. Yes, absolutely. You're just so much fun. I mean,
thank
they're having fun in the chat. I'm having fun with you. That's great.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it's just they always have fun in the chat.
They do. I have fun in the chat on other shows, and I really I love it. The chat is great here. So.
Yeah. Just I got somebody. This is left over from Danny. We didn't get through all the questions that we had.
Okay.
And somebody called the Greener Seed asked a question. It feels like the past year and a half has been a great reveal of people's true nature. When people are put in situations of extreme pressure and stress, we saw choices that tell us who they are. How do we move forward from here when it feels as if your whole community, friends, family is not what you once thought it was? How do you find compassion for people who behave so selfishly and egocentrically? How do we move forward when it seems like we are surrounded by so many unawakened individuals? So it's quite a few questions there.
Yeah, but they were in the gist of the same thing, really. Yeah.
The fact is, people, my view here is the people who behave so selfishly and egocentrically, I feel sorry for them, because one of the reasons they do that is they don't trust anybody else to have their.
Well, they don't think for themselves either. No, they get into groupthink, and
they don't, and so they feel it's me and the rest of the world, and only a few people understand. And firstly, you just have to accept that their problem is lack of trust in other people. I'm doing it all for myself because I don't think anyone's ever going to be there for me.
It's fear, don't you think, though? It's fear. Yeah.
That everyone's going to let them down, and that is a really sad indictment on modern society. They cannot feel they can trust anyone to help.
Right. We can raise their vibration, though. That's our. I truly believe that those of us, including the chat, any other shows, tarot readers, psychics, whatever, we decided that we wanted to be here to uplift humanity and offer that kind of a service, I guess is the word. And we want to bring their vibrations up. They won't do it for themselves.
No, they don't. They want other people to do it for them.
Correct.
But they're not prepared to help others. Hi, Edith D. Smith, 2,500. And you're right, Edith. They're not really happy. Possibly, some people unfortunately have been hurt in the past, and so it's understandable that they might feel that way.
If I'm miserable, then I'm going to make you miserable, so we can, then I'll feel comfortable,
And the fact that yes, these situations like this do bring out sides of people you've never seen before, and it is sad, and it is. Have you got the wisdom of the hidden realms there? I thought that maybe that's.
I do.
Project that you used one of those cards.
Yeah, I love them. They're beautiful. Yeah,
one of my favorite cards.
Have you also got this one?
Which one's that? Oh, spiritual. No, I came across that the other day.
I know, it's so funny, honestly. I love that. Yeah.
And there's another one with the unicorn on it with a stop sign over
Oh, the rebel
unicorn.
cards. The rebel cards.
The rebel
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are right to the point.
But,
Oh,
I
wow.
love to collect Baron Reed's cards, and
I do
have
too. Yep,
of them.
I
I've
do
got
too. And I also like, what's that other lady that does the sacred traveler cards and the sacred, I like her too, her stuff. But my favorite one really that I use with Susan Lynn on Sundays is this one, Sacred
yeah,
Earth Oracle. Oh,
yeah. I think
beautiful
I
card.
have that. I've got a
Yeah.
lot. You can
Oh,
see
I know. I
collection
had
at
to
the back.
decide which one. I had to decide which ones to bring with me because I have shows at home and then I come up here. So yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I can't bring them everywhere.
Now, it, the fact is that we all have a side of ourselves that we don't show
Right,
others.
shadow.
And sometimes that comes out in good ways, or it can
Yes.
come out in bad ways. But it is only one part of us, and you have to look at the context and think. People aren't always proud of themselves when those things come out.
True.
And
But we have to recognize them and say that they might be part of us. Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason that they don't show it is because they're not particularly proud of it.
Right.
So that's not how they feel things they should be.
Yep, I agree.
Everyone has that side of themselves, so acknowledge it in yourself.
If you've ever been divorced, you know you don't know that person anymore. That person is totally different from the one you were married to.
Yeah.
And it's amazing,
Yeah. I've never been divorced, so
well, good. I'm glad you haven't, but I've been divorced 3 times. And I gave my houses to my husbands. I said, I don't want them. You can have them. But I was the bad guy. And I thought, most women would take them right to the bank, but I never did that.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, it's Father's Day here in Australia.
Oh, is it? Happy Father's Day.
Sunday the 5th. It's Father's Day here in Australia. So yeah.
Awesome.
And it's so I acknowledge that you have that side, and it's not what you once thought it was. Communities have to go through change in order to go through growth.
Yep.
And you yourself, it's an opportunity to look into yourself and see what your ideals of community are, and what was viable and true 100 years ago, or even 10 years ago, is not viable and true now.
Very true.
If you expect things to stay the same and idealistic and perfect, you're not growing as a person. So take opportunities to grow. Thank you, Em. And also, yes, there might be sides of the people you know and you love, from your family, from your community, that you are seeing that you haven't seen before.
Right.
Look at the circumstances. It might be sad to see this side of a person, but if you show this side of yourself to a person and they forgive you, be willing to forgive.
Right. Forgive yourself.
And forgive yourself. And don't feel silly. People will show you what they want to show you, and a lot of it is born out of fear of loss, distrust in the community in general, and you just have to find a way. If you can find a way, if it's the whole face they've shown everybody has been a lie all along, that will come out. If this is just a part of them that is surfaces now and then in real bad adversity, it just means that, you know, you have to understand that they're not very good with adversity, and they don't necessarily mean the harm, but it can cause harm.
Have you ever heard of the, I don't know, I'm not saying this right probably, but it's the Ho'oponopono? No, it's a Hawaiian thing. And if you can say these 4 things, it's supposed to give you some relief. So it's, I'm sorry, please
Mhm.
forgive me,
Mhm.
thank you, I love you. That's all you say.
Yeah.
And it's very powerful, especially for those people you have a hard time forgiving, because it's only going to hurt you if you don't forgive them. You know,
Yeah.
you're going to carry this hatred and disgust and everything. And I just think that we need to release that. We need more self-care. We need to take care of ourselves.
And that you never know when in the future when circumstances might bring that out in you. It's interesting what we're talking about, because I pulled a card off the top and it was the Shadow Queen.
Ah, yes, that's what we're talking about.
Acquiring knowledge.
I did a series on it just recently on my channel, so it's very interesting.
And this whole process is helping people acquire more knowledge about the community as a whole and people around them. It is showing where the insecurities are in modern society and showing where they can arise from or what they're based on. A lot of these insecurities can also help with society to fix those areas. You know, some insecurities society's not going to be able to fix. It's up to a person to fix. But some of these sides of people are coming out because of lack of money, not getting the backup that they need, not getting the social security, seeing people
losing their jobs.
Losing their jobs. I don't know how smoothly the vaccine rollout is, but I have heard some stories of people not being able to get it because of where they live or stuff like that. Frustration is a big part of it, and manipulation. A lot of people these sides come out because of manipulation by others. And like I said, a lot of people will be sitting down in 5 years or 2, 3, 4, 5 years thinking, I cannot believe I acted the way I acted.
I hope so. From your lips to God's ear. I hope they do. Yeah.
Because all of people, often these sides come out when people play on their fears to encourage it to come out to their own ends. And that's a manipulation.
It is. Yeah.
Be willing to forgive. If someone asks for forgiveness, be willing to do that. If they don't ask, if they don't care, just let them go. Be willing to forgive if people ask for forgiveness. The lady in the mirror, reflection, non-judgment.
That's the hardest for people. Yeah.
Yeah. It shows all these circumstances have thrown a big mirror up in front of all of us as individuals and as a society. And we look in that mirror and we see what we want to see. And we think, this is the person and I'm whole and everything. But if you continue to look at it, you just see yourself. But if you continue to look at it, look at what is reflected in the mirror behind you and around you.
Yes, absolutely.
Mirror. And people who are true narcissists will only use a mirror that is.
That's right. Yep.
True people who indulge in true reflection will use a big mirror that shows more than just them.
Yes, absolutely.
And
do you think narcissists know they're narcissist? I don't know if they do. No, I don't think so either. I think they just think that that's the way they are. You know,
they don't recognize it. And also this lady of the mirror, the reflection and the non-judgment. Don't judge yourself too hard and be careful about judging others. Know the full story before you make that judgment. In fact, don't judge others. Just let them get on with things. And if you don't want to know them, you just get on with them, because you don't know the full story.
Right.
You're not looking in their mirror.
Right.
So you can't
Absolutely. That's the
around.
perception. Yeah, you don't know their perception of anything, really.
The
Em asked you, Chrissy, which vax you had. You had the AstraZeneca, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. She was asking. I had the Moderna.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're just waiting on developments. So,
Yeah.
the Well Watcher, wisdom, power of the divine. It's within all of us to find ways. Hi, Sean Muller, and thank you so much. I do
Yes,
appreciate
thank you.
that.
Yeah.
It is. All of us has a well of wisdom, but accessing that is something that is not always easy. Some of it's been buried deep down. It's had piles of dirt. The water table of wisdom that we all have access to has just been dumped upon and drained, often by others. But the power of the divine to me is looking around the world, looking at the situations, looking around us, looking at our immediate environment and at our wider environments, and looking at the way in which, drawing on that, on our own observations of the world around us, and then that's our observations, our own empirical observations. Those observations, it's like any survey. The answers to those surveys can be manipulated by others to show what they want.
Right. That's why I won't let my students do them in their papers. I said, you don't have a controlled poll because you're picking who you want to ask the question. You can't do that.
Yeah. And, because, there's no facility to put in randomized and everything at the moment. It just can't happen.
Right.
But looking around us at our own empirical observations and what we're getting from that, from the silence, from what's happening around us, but not listening to other voices. The divine is what you see and feel from the environment around you without the human input and without the power of other people's voices dumping in and filling up our wells of wisdom and or draining out the water table. And people age 60 and over here are unless they have to put in a huge different form, like pages and pages of forms, to be allowed to take something other than AstraZeneca over here in Australia.
It is age discrimination. You're right. Yeah. They don't really care about the old folks because they're going to die anyway. The young people think, well, what does it matter? You're old and you're going to die anyway. They don't realize that as a person over 60, you don't really think of yourself as being that old when you get there. I do want to make one kind of a mention of something that I think is important. When I was coming on the show, I was thrilled because, you're in a different country and we're able to, do this. And I think of myself as not a United States citizen, but a global citizen. I introduce myself as a human being on the planet Earth. And I don't see the borders. They don't, and there aren't very many people that I've noticed that, people think I'm just kind of wacky because I say that, but I really feel more like a global citizen. And so I don't see the differences. I only see the similarities. And it takes a lot sometimes because there's a lot of places that I don't have to, things happen and I don't agree, like Brazil. I don't agree with what happened there, but, anyway, I think if we can all think of ourselves that way, then we become closer and we're more heart to heart, and I like that. So.
The natural system, my degree is in physical geography, Somebody asked what that is, and I said, me once, and I said erosion on the surface of the earth. Everything coming together to form the surface of the earth by erosion and weathering. And in nature, there are land systems. That's what we call them, but they're really easily defined by different areas. And a land system and the way in which it works doesn't care about anthropogenic or man-made borders. It doesn't care.
It doesn't.
It'll go over state lines. It'll go over this. And this is the thing too with something like COVID. You know, I've also got a master's in geospatial science.
Wonderful.
Location. And my final master's project was looking at the influence of two different ocean currents, Southern Oscillation Index and the Indian Ocean Dipole, on the influencing the number and the spread, or the incidence and the spread of Ross River virus in the state of Western Australia. So I've had a look at some, and really it doesn't care about boundaries. Viruses don't care because they don't care about boundaries.
They don't care. Yeah, they don't, and they don't care if you're conservative or if you're liberal. Yeah,
it's about the environment that you're in, and sometimes we as humans can make it worse. For example, if you're looking at dengue fever, which is spread by a mosquito called Aedes aegypti, unlike some other things, Aedes aegypti like water vessels. So places where water gathers, they'll go in there, still water, stagnant water, and they'll lay their eggs and they'll multiply and they'll go out and they'll bite people and people get sick from dengue fever. And some of the biggest nastiest are backyards where people have containers everywhere.
Right.
So our influence on what we do around us can influence some things.
Yes.
And the human influence on coronavirus is just people gathering in one spot.
Right. Without masks and close, yelling.
In people, the same way in which people have to clean up their yards not to get Aedes aegypti breathing and biting them and giving them dengue fever, we have to clean up our social habits to not provide an environment where COVID.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And thrive. But unfortunately, we're still a long way from being through this COVID thing. Things will get better in the next couple of years. But as I pointed out to my husband, it is for quite a long time something we're going to have to live with.
Yeah, we do. And we really just need to understand that. And that's what happened. When I was a young child, my father had tuberculosis. And I had to go in and get TB tests and everything for years and years and years. And he was in a hospital, but he came home at one point. And I was just a little girl. So, and then we've all had to have shots and we had to bring our shot records to go into the public schools. So this isn't something new, it's something that we just did. And we didn't question why we needed to do it. It's just crazy. So I know.
Got a very interesting thing here that's come up, Ali. Lauren Boebert's re-election chances are put in jeopardy after Colorado's nonpartisan redistricting commission changes the borders of her district, making it vastly more democratic.
That's great. She's a nutcase, honestly. Did you know her husband? What was her husband picked up for indecent exposure or something like that?
Yeah.
I tell you, if my husband did that, I'd say, "See you later, dude." Somebody in the chat asked where I'm RVing. What we did was we had to move this RV up here because my husband's working up here 2 hours from my house. So I'm near Whidbey Island. near that area.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah, nice area.
it's beautiful. We have a like a ocean view where we have our RV. It's really nice. So Bobert's going to be the hermit. She needs to do a lot of soul searching. She needs to do some self-discovery and introspection, but I doubt she will.
People like her don't do that. They just believe that what they think is right.
Gotta have the guns, you know.
Self-reflection is not part of their inertia, stagnation, and permanence. Her there for forever, and it's not going to be. She's not of the type of personality that will ever be in on resolution for anything, because if you don't want to do it her way, she's not interested.
Highway. Yeah. Yep.
Future planning, progress, decisions, and discovery. So she's all about future. Her past thinking has been all about that. But she's facing some painful endings, deep loss, betrayal, deep wounds as well. So she's in for a long, dark night of the soul with the 10 of Swords.
She will be. Yeah.
Right? Disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, and escapism. Abandonment, withdrawal. It's like, yeah, the redistricting is. They're not.
So if she doesn't get out for her part in 1/6, then she'll get out because of this, right?
Yeah.
Yes, J Cat lady.
The King of Cups, self-compassion, moodiness, emotionally manipulative, inner feelings, self-compassion. She's really going to be feeling very, very sorry for herself.
Oh, poor me. Oh.
I wouldn't want to be on her staff. Is she going to be facing some consequences of 1/6?
I hope so. Is she the one that sent somebody? No, or was it Margie that sent somebody into the Capitol to do some surveillance or something? One of them did.
I think it's supposed to be Lauren Burbott, because her mother was the woman.
Her mother was there. That's right.
Shouting out instructions on how to get to Nancy Pelosi's office.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Past resentment, making amends, reconciliation, making amends, past resentment. This is the 5 of Swords. I said, is she going to face some consequences?
Yep.
Conflict with others and transition. Inner conflict avoidance. She's going to do everything she can to avoid the consequences of her own actions.
Yep. Well, she's got that bar she can go back to in Colorado where she owns a bar. She can go back there and drink herself to death, you know?
Yeah. Uncovered. Trump was arrested and led away in handcuffs, and it was televised live on pay-per-view. It's possible we could eliminate the entire national debt.
Really? Good for you. I love that. Yeah. In the meantime, can we also get rid of all the student loans? What time is it where I am? It's 8:36 Saturday night.
There is some talk of getting rid of some, and also some talk of instituting no interest, or even for people who want to go into nursing and medicine, no interest loans. So no interest, they just pay it, and lower repayment schedules or something like that. Or possibly even, depending on the states, possibly even they don't have to pay fees or anything to do things like nursing and all that to help with the healthcare system. But I don't know how that's going to be.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I got a lot of student loans myself because I went back to college at 45.
Yeah.
So I owe about $200,000.
I'm not that
bad. Money.
But I'm not that bad. But we have something called a HEX HECS or help, where you can pay off your student fees and all that through taxation. So it comes out of your, if you're working above a certain amount, it comes out of your pay before you even get your salary, and also come out of your tax. Some of it can come out of your tax return.
Oh dear.
So, and then it's like, yeah. Hi, Julie P. Thank you. Julie P said she liked and subscribed to both of this.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Julie P.
So, you know, and if you don't earn a certain amount, you don't have to pay anything, but you can choose to if you want.
Okay.
Like if you're on Social Security, you can choose to pay like $5.
I'm moving to Australia. That's all. Clean out one of your rooms. I'm moving in.
Or and you can choose to pay a few dollars off every fortnight to help get it through.
Okay.
I just got my got rid of my HECS loan.
Good for you.
On my degree.
What a word when you think about it. HECS. They put a hex on you. That's pretty creepy.
Then I signed up to do my second master's in GIS and geospatial. And so now I've got another one, but it's nowhere near. Yours. I think
Good for you.
Somewhere between.
My son paid all his off, so I was proud of him for doing that. All right, so 10-2, there's going to be a women's march. I'll be there. I'll be there with 2 or 3 masks on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to wrap it up for today. Yep. I've been shortening my I was going for like 3 hours twice a week.
Oh dear. Gosh, that's like, No, I'm tired out myself.
Yep. And so we're going to wrap it up for the day. Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you, Ali from Heart and Soul. My apologies.
Oh goodness. Don't even worry about it. I'm a very forgiving person. I don't hold any kind of no problem. It's not a problem.
I'm normally a lot than that. But
okay.
Yeah. Very much for that. And everyone to take care, stay strong, stay safe, stay loving, stay healthy. And I will see you guys in a few days. I think I'm going to move my Tuesday to maybe Monday night. I'm not sure. And I am going to hold a Monday Mysteries probably Monday.
Cool. That's great.
See you later. Love
Thank you.
all.
Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you.
Okay,
thanks everybody in the chat.
Bye.